My bit rate sucked for no reason in the first bit of this video, but it gets better when I notice, so bear with me. If you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm collecting up sand for my projects in today's video. I lost about 3 hours of footage right at the start because my SSD got gutted. However, anything past that is okay. Though I've not got much storage space left, this is gonna be fun. Anyways, in today's video, I want to start working on my actual world. I want to add some more builds to my world, but first, I want to make it look good. So today, I'm going to completely revamp the beach, making it look a whole lot better, with details such as sandcastles, beach towers, and a functional lighthouse. To start with, I needed sand, and a lot of it. So I went to some faraway beaches because the closest desert is like 10 kilometers away. Looking back, I should have made a sand duper, but I didn't think about it until I finished, so that's why I didn't do that. Timmy took a beating, but mending is a godsend of an enchant. Now the first thing I needed to do for this project was to build an actual beach area. I'd marked the outline of it before the footage corrupted. Now it's just a case of filling in the outline area, which, might I add, is a pain bearing in mind the sand falls. So I needed to go through and place blocks beneath the sand to stop it from falling. At first, I used different blocks that I found in my chest, making them into slabs so they'd go for longer, but I'd quickly run out of them. This beach is a whole lot bigger than I thought it was, so I was going to need some more blocks. So I set out to the nether to gather netherrack, as it's probably the easiest material to get in large amounts. With shulkers filled to the brim with netherrack, I had enough blocks to continue working on the beach. I was running out of sand, however, so I set out to get myself some more sand. I began gathering some more when a thunderstorm hit, so I decided to use the opportunity to get myself some mob heads, in which I learnt that the data pack mob heads weren't guaranteed from charged creepers. I'm not sure why. So I focused on the zombie, creeper and skeleton heads. Zombie and creeper heads came really easily since they just walk in a straight line. However, skeletons strafe and back up, which made lining one up in the range of a skeleton really difficult. I managed to recover all my stuff as I had set my spawn in the village, but try as I might, I couldn't find my boots anywhere. So I'll have to make some more of those at some point. Though I did manage to get the skeleton skull, so I'm calling it quits now. The piglin head, I genuinely don't know how I'm going to get one of those, but I'll figure that out at a later date. Anyways, back to the sand collection. Timmy is a proper trooper in this video, coming close to death over 3 times now, and it won't be his last near-death experience. Anyways, I decided to make some new boots, when I noticed I had lost something else. Where's my axe? Where the fuck did my axe go? Oh, that's just fucking brilliant, isn't it? Yep, my axe was gone. I don't need an axe just yet, so I'll hold off making another one. But for now, I'll focus on my boots. I got some pretty good boots fairly quickly, and I named them Super Swimmers II, to honour the legacy of its prerequisite. Anyways, this should be the last batch of sand. For now. And with that, the first layer of the beach is complete, and that is the first part of the beach revamp complete. The beach right now has one major flaw. It's dark, so at night, every mob in existence flocks to the beach as somewhere to go. Visually, I don't need it to look bright all the time, after all I have full bright, But I did want to go and place a few torches around temporarily until I have a different way to light them. Now comes the second part of the beach revamp, which is going to be building a lighthouse. After all, what are the other sailors on this single player world going to do if I don't have a structure to help them locate land? So I placed in my schematic and cleared out the land so I had a good area to work with. Now I just needed the materials for the build. I needed a lot of concrete, so I set out to get myself some gravel in a windswept gravelly hills. You know, another highway isn't a bad shout. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. Sand I already have a lot of, and the build uses red and white dye, both of which I have easy access to. I got home and crafted up a full shulker box of each coloured concrete. I then needed a bit of quartz. Mining it in the nether is a pain, but thankfully there's an alternative. Stonemasons at master level sell quartz, which I didn't know was guaranteed, so I made 6 masons. I'm a dumb bitch. But I got the quartz I needed, which I smelted to smoothen it out. Now, thankfully, the only replay I cared about, the lighthouse build, actually saved. It might be because the actual build of it didn't take very long. I'm not sure. I'll keep trying to use replay, but I can't guarantee it'll be a staple in the series unless I know for a fact it's going to be reliable. With the lighthouse fully built, I decided it was time for stage 3 of the beach revamp, which was building a wall around the land, similar to beaches in real life. I decided on a block pattern for this build, which was chiseled stone bricks, gravel, cobblestone, and polished andesite. Polished andesite and chiseled stone bricks was because I had loads left over from leveling up the masons. Gravel I accidentally collected loads from when I got the concrete, and cobblestone is easy enough to get, so I started collecting them all up. And yes, I installed a data pack that prevents villagers from locking their trades. I'm using this more for the buying than the selling, though again, not sure if it would even matter if I was using it for the selling as well. What the fuck do I do with all of these? With all of the cobblestone collected, I started work on the wall. I marked out the outline of the wall with netherrack and used deep slate tiles to mark where the various staircases will go. After all, people around the city in the single player world are going to need ways to get down to the beach, so we're going to need a lot of staircases. I then started work building up the wall. I used a trick that YouTuber Mumbo Jumbo created, where you place all your blocks in the hotbar slots and scroll while placing to randomise the block placement. It took me a while to get the rhythm down, but eventually I got the hang of it. Though by building this wall I was covering up my placement for my nether portal. I do have plans to build it in a different spot, so it's not the end of the world. I also realised that I heavily over-prepared for this, since I barely even needed one shulker box with the materials. But at least it helps when I need high amounts of chiseled stone bricks for future projects, for which I have planned 0. While building the wall, however, I noticed something that made me very sad. Wait, what happened? Huh? Your mom! How? What the fuck happened to your mom? How? What killed? The fucking golem killed it. Next episode's going to be an iron farm. Okay, that may have been a half joke because I really need a storage system. We'll see which one comes first. Anyways, back to the wall. I also worked on all the staircases and the walls while building it, just to break up the monotony. With that, the construction of the wall is complete. Well, not fully. I still want to add some more details to the wall, mainly around the top, just to give it a little bit more detail. But I'm going to take a break from the wall and move my sheep out of their hole and off the beach. But first, I wanted to dye them all yellow. My method of hiding the light sources is going to be putting them under yellow carpets, as that will blend best with the beach. I might make a texture pack to replace the carpets with a sand texture, though I'm not sure whether adding borderline custom blocks is really the way I want to go with this series. But I might, it depends. Anyways, I dyed all my sheep, sheared them, then let them all out into the world. I tried my best to lure all of them into their new hole, but there was genuinely so many of them that it was hard to herd them all up. In the end, not all of them survived. However, I did manage to get a yellow sheep head at some point, which I decided to do a reference with and place it in the lighthouse. I'm not sure how obscure this reference is, so I'll give a hint to it. Amphi. Anyways, it's time to go on with stage 4 of the beach revamp, which is the layering. Right now, the beach is a flat plane and it needs a bit of high variety so that it looks natural. So I went over the beach and placed more sand. I'm gonna start to get sick of placing sand in a minute, but thankfully the hours of placing sand can be edited down into 10 seconds, so enjoy the next 10 seconds because I sure as hell didn't. It's not 100% done, but it's looking a lot better with the layers. I want to get a little bit more details in on the walls, so I built up some detail on the walls. On the bottom giving it some more depth, and on the top giving it a deep slate tile top. I'm gonna kill the weather. Yep, you heard that right. You remember back when I said I wanted every major structure to be marked with a beacon? Yeah, I've decided to commit to that. So I went to the nether and killed more wither skeletons. I took their skulls to the end and tackled more withers. With the 5 withers killed, I went back to the overworld, crafted up my beacons, and placed them in the lighthouse. And I know I keep saying this, but I had no issues powering them. Though the shape of these ones were a bit awkward, but I managed to get it looking right. Before we continue with the rest of this video, I just want to remind you all that this is what the beach looked like before the revamp. And I hope this shows exactly why I wanted to do this. Anyway, it's now time for stage 5 of the revamp, which is going to be lighting up the place. As I said earlier, my method of lighting up the beach will be placing torches under yellow carpets, which should blend in well enough with the beach. So I made a fuck ton of torches and started digging holes all around the beach to place the torches in, and cover with carpets. I want to remind everyone that this was basically only possible during the night, as daylight makes it really difficult to tell what needs lighting. Basically, the process took ages and I'm not happy about it. Oh, did I mention that while doing this I wasn't sleeping? Yeah, fuck this mob. I decided to make use of the day and move my villagers. Now I hope that this time the villagers will behave and make this easy for me. However, my hope would have been better used hoping for the hovering inferno to be added to the game. So if that doesn't say everything about working with villagers, I don't know what will.
Move! Why'd you guys swarm the fucking minecart? It's sort of revolutionary thing. It was invented in like the fucking 1600s. To be fair, I don't even know if that's true. Don't fact check that. What are you? Yeah, no, what are you doing? Get off your fucking block.
I managed to get them all over into their new hole. Eventually I'll have a place for all of them to go, but for now they can live there. This leaves you. Yeah, fuck you. All that's left to do now is to cover up where the old villager camp used to be and finish up the lighting on the beach. And with that, the lighting is done, and this leads us into stage 6 of the beach revamp. I know, There's a lot of stages, but this is the penultimate one, I promise. Stage 6 of the beach revamp is going to be adding little details. I didn't want this being essentially a big terraforming project, so I wanted to add little details like campsites, a large rock, beach towels, sandcastles, seaweed and sugarcane, and tiki torches. And with that, the beach is fully completed. Well, almost. Here comes the 7th and final stage to this build. There's still one big issue with this build, is that it all takes place on a floating plane, with no natural terrain connecting it to the seafloor. So I went across the beach, connecting it to the seafloor. For this, I used smooth sandstone, as the texture is very similar to sand, it doesn't fall, and it's just overall easier to work with. This process is taking a really long time, but thanks to the power of editing, I can do this. And with that, the beach revamp is finally complete. This took so long to do, as placing all of the blocks by hand took forever, but it's finally done. Thank fuck for that. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button and share it with a friend if you think they'd be interested. And until next time, goodbye.